All your favorite wrestling shows rolled into one. Welcome to the We Book It podcast. Let's start the show.
What's up, We Book It fam? This is your boy Big Daddy C coming at you with the All Elite recap show where we recap all things, mostly all things AEW, but mainly the AEW Dynamite show. Throwing in a little bit of information from Collision from time to time, as well as any pay-per-view recaps. So tonight we'll be recapping the events from last night's AEW Dynamite show. Pretty solid show. A lot of hard-hitting action. So starting out, we had a tornado tag match, a intergender tornado tag match, which is a rarity in AEW, especially with the intergender matches. So we had Jon Moxley and Marina Shafir versus Swerve Strickland and my girl Swerve Strickland and my girl Willow Nightingale. So the show pretty much started out with a fight. It was Willow and Swerve. They met Marina Shafir and Jon Moxley around the ring. They started brawling. It's pretty much a good brawl for most of the match. There was a moment where Swerve tried to attempt the house call on Moxley, only for Marina Shafir to push him out the way and take the house call finisher herself. And then eventually Willow would take advantage and basically put Moxley through a table. And then she would give Shafir the Babe Bomb for the win. So this was a pretty solid matchup between the two. Marina Shafir, she's still kind of new. She's still in kind of like the rookie stages, but she's getting her reps in the matches in the ring. So it's pretty cool to see. She'll get more experience as time goes on, and we'll see how her career pans out. After the match, however, Moxley would give man. I wanted to fight Moxley. I ain't gonna hold you. He gave my girl Willow the paradigm shift, DDT, and laid her out, man. I was just like, nah, my girl, man. Moxley, come on, bro. What we doing, man? Hey, leave my girl alone. She ain't did well. I get it, but come on, man. She harmless, bro. Like how you gonna do that to Willow Nightingale of all people? You gonna give her the paradigm shift DDT, man? I get it, equal opportunity, but her, come on now. And I get it, Swerve gave Marina, the house call kick, but come on, man. Come on, bro. What we doing? Anyway, so next up we had the Owen Hart Foundation tournament bracket reveal. And so we had the for the men's and women. On the men's side, we had Kevin Knight taking Jay White's spot in the first round against Will Ospreay after the Death Riders attacked Jay White. And then there's a wild card entrant that will fight Hangman Adam Page. And so we'll find out who that will be. And then we have on the women's side, Thunder Rosa. She will be facing Chris Statlander. Then we have in Mercedes Monet will be facing Drew. It's pretty stacked. And then so basically AEW is giving some fresh spotlights to giving some interesting spotlights to the upcoming talent. Monet versus Athena will be looks like, for me personally, I feel like might end up being Monet versus Athena in the semifinals, which will set the stage for both of them to lose in the tournament. ahead of a clash for the TBS Championship, which will take place at All In. Next up, we have Hangman Adam Page versus. It looks like it's going to be Hangman Adam Page versus Will Ospreay in the final. I think that's something that will be box office, honestly. Especially with Jay White being taken out of the tournament. So I definitely think this will be a huge match at All In. So we'll see what happens from this point on. There was a backstage moment where Dax Harwood basically was paying back Paul Turner, the referee that he attacked at Collision, basically apologizing to him. So, hey, I got caught up in the moment. Won't happen again. Hey, take this check, go have dinner with your kids and your wife or whatever. And so after that, you had basically him. He have also apologized to Cash Wheeler for attacking him and say, we good, we gonna be cool, we gonna go win these trios titles. And he tried to hug him. He tried to hug Cash Wheeler, and Cash Wheeler was like, hey, we brothers, we gonna be good, but after Sunday, after the match Sunday, we gotta talk. So that's pretty much how that segment ended there. And then Swerve Strickland, he basically warned Jon Moxley that he was going to get him back by the end of the night for giving Willow Nightingale the DDT, the Paradigm Shift DDT. And there was another backstage moment where Renee was interviewing the CEO of Mercedes Moné, basically talking about how she's going to face Juliet Hart at Dynasty. While she wanted to focus on that, Harley Cameron arrives with her little Mercedes Moné puppet, and so apparently they were going to be tag team partners in a match against Hart and Athena on Collision, and so that was a nice little segment there. Next up, we have Toni Storm versus Penelope Ford. This was a solid match. Pretty much back and forth here. These two women got good chemistry in the ring. Penelope Ford did fight hard against Toni Storm, but Toni Storm she the truth, man. Finished off with the Storm Zero. And then here comes Megan Bayne. Oh my God, that woman is so beautiful, boy. Man, like it don't make no damn sense how beautiful that woman is, bro. Like crafted by the gods, man. It's like God took his time with Megan Bayne, bro. I kid you not, man. It don't make no damn sense. But I digress. Back to the important stuff. Megan Bayne came out there, had a little stare down with Toni Storm, but refused to meet her in the ring. So it was a pretty solid contest. It was predictable for the most part. And so next up, let me see here. We had a segment with Bobby Lashley, Bobby Lashley, MVP, and MJF. Basically, Bobby Lashley, same thing. He's refusing to let MJF into the Hurt Syndicate. Bobby came out there. He's about to speak. MJF interrupts him as he, loves to do with anybody. He interrupts everybody. And Bobby Lashley basically told him, we don't need you, bro. We don't need you. And MJF was like, look, man, I take that as a challenge. We can do big things, man. I can help y'all keep the tag team championships, and you can help me win back the AEW World Heavyweight Championship. And, and so that was pretty much, how that ended. MJF walked off. And then out comes Big Bill and Brian Keith, who are still trying to prove a point and, prove their worthiness to Chris Jericho. After he basically scolded them a week ago. And so they made quick work. Basically, they came out there, brought out a chair. I'm like, hey, look. Told Bobby Lashley and MVP, look, y'all take a seat. Watch this. Watch what we do to these local competitors. And as you would expect, they just destroyed the local competitors. And then Big Bill would eventually set a challenge for the tag team championships at Dynasty, and then Bobby Lashley and them just walked off. And it's like, man, y'all ain't worth a damn. And so yeah, man, I don't think the learning tree. I don't think they're gonna win the championships, but it's a nice little tag team, good worthy tag team challenge for the Hurt Syndicate. So we'll see what happens at Dynasty with that match. Let's see here. Next up, we had Will Ospreay and Kevin Knight versus Blake Christian and Lee Johnson. Blake Christian and Lee Johnson, they had I think they had a match last week. I believe it was against Christian and forgot that dude's name. But yeah, they ended up losing that match. But yeah, they held their own against Will Ospreay and Kevin Knight. But Will Ospreay and Kevin Knight, reign supreme. This was I believe this was Kevin Knight's debut match. And he pulled out the win with a springboard lariat. After the match, Tony Schiavone will announce that Ospreay versus Kevin Knight would be the first match of the men's On Heart Foundation tournament. And this will be taking place at AEW Dynasty. Once again, it is unfortunate that Jay White won't be able to compete. But this will be a good breakout match for Mr. Breakout singles match for Mr. Kevin Knight. So we'll see what happens. Obviously, Will Ospreay will be winning that match. So no spoilers there. I think we all agree on that. We'll see how Kevin Knight holds up. See if he can hold his own against Will Ospreay. So next up, we would have, let's see here. Samoa Joe, he basically it was a segment him warning the locker room that the Ops would be watching Dynasty closely. So, hey, whoever trying to get out them trios titles, man, beware. Any trios groups out there, just know the Ops, bro, they coming for y'all. I'm telling you. Pause. But they on the way. They looking. They ready. So we'll see what happens. Next up, we got Brody King versus Lance Archer. We know the back history. We know these dudes have fought several times before. And look, man, the chemistry is there. You got two big, super heavyweight guys going at it. And of course, Don Callis was out there, looking stupid, looking like one of the thumb men from Spy Kids 2. But yeah, man, he was good back and forth match, but Brody King finished it off with a running lariat for the victory. Okay, yeah, that's kind of weird. Apparently, they call the division the meat division, which is totally diabolical, if you ask me. The meat division is crazy. That is crazy work. Crazy work. They got to call it something else. But anyway, next up. We had let's see here. Oh, yeah, not to mention the crowd was chanting meat and meat forever. So that was also diabolical. Like, what are y'all doing? What are y'all doing? What we doing here? This is crazy. Get it together, crowd. Get it together. All right, now. All right, next up, we got Pope versus Claudio Castagnoli. The Death Riders, Rated FTR rivalry is still continuing on in every way you can imagine. And so basically you had Claudio Castagnoli. He was trying to give the concerto to Cope, but the referee would stop him. And while the referee's back was turned, Cope hit a low blow on In the Spirit to win against Claudio Castagnoli. Transition into the backstage segment. We got Swerve Strickland marching backstage. He's telling Renee, hey, I'm looking for you. She tried to get an interview with him, and he's like, look, for all due respect, I'm looking for your husband. Which it was kind of cool moment. It's kind of cool. It's obvious we know, there's no secret. Moxley and Renee are married. So anyway. So yeah, he continued to march forward until all of a sudden you hear Hangman Adam Page just screaming and shouting, blah, 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 wasting your time with the Death Riders, blah 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 blah. And so they just started, they yelling at each other and shit. And he's like, you burned my house down and blah blah blah. He's like, you deserve it. And I'm like, okay, all right. And he's like, you said what? I know, I deserve it. I know. And then he storms off, so that was kind of weird. But shit ain't over between these two, man. Shit ain't over. They trying to get the AEW championship. So we'll see. They have some good ass matches over that title. So we'll see if they continue their rivalry down the road once Swerve wins back the AEW championship. So next up, actually, right after that, as he continued walking, marching forward, trying to look for Moxley clotheslines the hell out of him. He starts getting the whole Death Riders just start jumping his ass. He threw him into some glass in the back. Just kept basically drug him out to the ring. Continued to jump his ass some more, and then Yuta pulled out this like can of glass shards, broken glass, and then just poured that shit out on the ring. And they get this man a power bomb and onto the glass shards, and that was it. And they walk off, and all of a sudden, you see Swerve sit up like a goddamn Undertaker, and they looking at this man like, what the fuck? Like, what is going on? Like, we just power bombed this motherfucker onto some broken glass. How is he? But come on now, you know, all the crazy matches this man has been in. He's been through a lot worse than getting power bombed on some broken glass. So they shouldn't be surprised. So this is gonna be a crazy ass match at Dynasty between these two. So I can't wait to see how it unfolds. So next up, actually, was that maybe? Yep, that was how the show ended. So basically that segment there, Swerve getting laid out. I'm over here talking. I just got done ranting about the crowd saying some suspect ass shit, and I just said somebody getting laid out. Okay, Swerve getting jumped by the Swerve getting jumped by the damn Death Riders. That's how the show ends. And so when it comes to shit, whoever gets the momentum going into the pay-per-view, more often than not, they're going to lose. So I believe Moxley, he's had a long run. I ain't gonna say long run with the title. He barely defended that bitch, but I think his time is up as a world champion. Swerve is about time for another run because I want to see him and Hangman Adam Page go at it once again. So I definitely got Swerve winning that match. I think this is a solid night. A lot was unfolding, not too much craziness. They want to save it for the pay-per-view. Did a lot of building up for these rivalries, so you don't want to give too much on the weekly shows. And so you got to save some stuff for the pay-per-view. So I'll definitely be, keeping my eye out on the results if I can't watch it live. But I'll definitely be keeping an eye out on the results. This has been your All Elite Recap show. Thanks for all who's going to be tuning in once this is uploaded to YouTube. We will be streaming this on Twitch. Get it set up for it to start streaming soon. And I hope you guys can tune in there as well as the We Book It podcast on Twitch. Continue to like, share, and subscribe to the podcast. We're on all social media platforms, Apple Music, Spotify. This is your host, Big Daddy C, signing off. Peace. Oh, and catch the SmackDown recap show tomorrow. So we'll have more than likely it'll be Virgil and Fritos doing that show. I ain't gonna be able to join. I'll be busy, but yeah. So be on the lookout for Virgil and Fritos giving the SmackDown recap tomorrow. Peace.